Ferasticos, tudo bem? Aqui é a Maxiane e aqui vocês estão no canal Naked Mind. E aqui a gente vai desvendar, vamos desnudar a mente da nossa convidada hoje, Katherine.
Hello.
Oh, que nome chique, né? So now we are starting this channel, so in English now, very fancy. But now you can introduce yourself. Okay.
I'm Katherine. Born and raised in Michigan. I come from a long lineage of family that comes from Chile. And I do speak Spanish as well, so if you ever need me to speak Spanish, I'm more than happy to flex that.
Okay.
But I'm really happy to be here, and thank you for inviting me as part of your channel. I feel honored that it's your first
my first guest. Yeah.
So I feel very much honored to be as your guest.
So to start, I am always asking for. Well, I will be asking for the new guests because you are my first one. Mm-hmm. So, your favorite phrase that you use a lot or you like a lot?
There's so many, but I do have one in particular that has definitely impacted my life. I think one is, it's very simple, and I think that the simple is best.
Yes.
A simple phrase that I love starts with, the secret to having everything is knowing that you do. Or you could also think of it as, you know, the secret of having it all is knowing that you have it.
You have it, okay.
That's because you're all the time looking at where the grass is greener. And a lot of times we spend a lot of time trying to chase that mentality where everybody else is in a better position, but you're behind in some way, or that you're lacking. So I think what this very simple statement says is that you already have everything that you could ever ask for. Just live it and
and know
that it's enough, and that you're happy with that.
And this phrase, when did become important to you?
I think it became important to me maybe when I faced challenge. When I mean by challenge, I faced challenges like where I have failures. I feel like something I'm lacking, or even when we're looking into like certain struggles in terms of like career or where we're supposed to be. I sometimes have to stop myself with thinking that, oh, you know what? I'm happy where I'm at, and I'm just gonna keep it at that. I shouldn't have to like look at myself as somebody who is lacking or that is behind. That I can, that I already have everything that God has given me to move forward and to be happy in the present. So I think that's kind of what this statement kind of shares, is to be present with what you have.
And you have a moment that you were facing something, and then you remembered that this phrase. I am using this phrase so well.
Yeah, because that statement helps me to stay present. Because I would either be, regretful of what I didn't do in the past, and also be anxious of what the future may hold. And this kind of helps me to center myself as the present. That's the most secret thing of all, is
being the present.
Being in the present, really.
Yeah.
So
it's very hard to be in the present.
It's very hard, and living in the times that we are, where we're constantly looking at history, what it's happened, and then constantly looking ahead at what is to come. We're always constantly seeing that in social media, or I feel like society kind of puts you in that position too, where we're constantly having to look towards the future and what we should be aiming for and how we should obtain it. And I think that one discovers their own mantra or their own way of moving forward, really. There's another statement that also is called live and let live.
Live and let live.
Live and let live. Live your life and allow other people to live theirs, in a sense. Like, it's a very tolerant phrase, but I like that it's very much describing how you should not have to worry about other people's lives because they will live their lives the way they should, and you should live the way you should.
You think they live like this here?
It's to me, I feel like that phrase is like allowing people to live their life. Like you're not constantly bombarding people. Oh, look how they're living their life. You see what I'm saying? You're basically sticking to your own business.
Okay.
Which that's what that statement is. Your business is your business. Mine is mine. You live and let live.
Wow. So about your business, I will question.
Yeah, that's fine.
About your business.
Yeah.
In the past, do you think you have seen your past and now? You think you have or had some traits from your family, some personality traits, something like that?
You know, I think we all kind of contributed a lot of our parents' personality and traits. But I think that if you keep on dwelling that, oh, this is my mom or this is my dad, if you keep dwelling on that you'll never discover yourself. That's kind of what I've learned, is that if I keep on saying, oh, that's my mom's trait, that, you know, I'm pushy or I'm just very like opinionated. Like if I keep on thinking that, then I will become that. But I won't be able to discover truly what I can be myself, because I know that I'm a different person than my mom and dad. But if I keep dwelling on, oh, I'm my dad or my mom, then I won't really develop myself in a sense, if that makes any sense.
But sometimes I think we have the essence of their traits.
We essentially do. We do have their blood. We do have their tendencies.
Yeah.
But I feel like one can evolve as their own person, really.
Yeah, or seeing or discovering what traits you have. You can change or not, because sometimes we can have good traits.
Exactly. And also with other habits that you can contribute, they could also work negatively. But negatively.
Oh, negatively. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, negative. Some things can be negative, but I think that you take what you can with what your parents gave you, the positive things, and just kind of work with that instead of maybe, oh, I could have gotten this from my mom, or no. I would say that just take the positive things from both parents. Yeah. And
sometimes when you discovered one trait that you don't like it or didn't like it or something, you how can I say this? You wanted to change it or to renovate it or something. No, I don't know. What you did or do when you discover this trait and you say, oh, I don't like it very much, but...
I guess it's just having to kind of stop myself if I ever do, because like if I see something negative in it and I'm doing it, like I'll do my best to kind of stop myself those moments that I have that, you know? Like if I am too perfectionist, like that is part of my trait in a sense, to like be very perfectionist and not be able to withstand failure very well.
Okay.
So that's a trait that I don't know who I contributed to, that I contracted that, whatever. That I contracted it. It's not like if it was a disease, but no, it's not really a disease. But it can inhibit me to grow when I do become very perfectionist in one thing and not realize that failure is part of growth. And so that's...
Yeah.
So that's a time where I have to stop myself if I'm going down that rabbit hole of, oh, like it has to be perfect or else it's not going to work, or I'm going to fail at it. I try to stop myself and say, you know, it's better to just not go through that, or to do the best I can. And if it's not all that I wanted it up to be, I need to be happy with what I got. Mm-hmm. And not over complicate the matter.
Okay.
I think that it happens sometimes, really, like where you can, where I would sometimes overthink something and try to perfect it. And then I end up hurting myself in the end. And if it's going to hurt me, then I need to figure a healthy way to try to get out of that. So that's the thing. And developing healthy habits, like maybe going for a walk or for me, music has been a big music has been a big way of me trying to reset that
and
negative mindset, really.
And you have a specific music or
any music, any music really, and it really depends on the mood that I'm in.
Oh, okay.
Like if I'm in I really want, like if it's a sunny day and it's like I want something movement, I want to move, I want to dance, then I will listen to music that will make me happy. Or when there's like those sultry days where you just kind of want to be indoors, I listen to smooth jazz.
Okay.
I listen to French music, which is funny.
French music, okay.
Because I don't understand what they're saying.
Very eclectic.
But it's very like laid back and chill. That's why I like to
the
listen
vibe.
to.
It's like different.
It's very different. And I don't, like I said, I don't know what they're saying. So I just listen to whatever, whatever rhythm they have, and I just kind of move with it.
And sometimes you change it, like, oh, I am so sad, but I don't want to be like this. So you change the music to be happier.
I try to. I really do. Or sometimes I kind of go through the motions of that emotion. Like if I'm feeling sad, like, okay, I'll go through that moment where I'll listen to more melancholic music just to go with that flow, ride it out. Ride that emotion out and go where it may go. And then, of course, I move on, and I feel better after that. After I embrace that emotion, I let it happen, and then I just move on. And then I be like, okay, I had my moment. Now I can just move on. Right, change the channel. That I always say that to my husband, sweetie, I gotta change the channel. He's like, say change the channel, sweetie. Don't stay in the channel for too long. I'm like, okay. It's okay to dwell on some of the emotions for a bit of a time, because I feel, at least for me, I'm more emotional more than rational. So, and that's something that like you were talking about, I got from my dad.
Oh, okay, from your dad.
From my dad, but it's not a bad thing to be emotional. You just have
if you know how to
exactly
dwell with, I don't know but how to manage
how to manage that. And so I definitely got that emotional side from my dad.
Emotional. Okay.
So usually when that happens, I usually write it out and let it happen, and then I change the channel.
So you write?
No,
or it's just a form to say?
Just a phrase.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But music helps me to
Okay.
to like ride my emotions out. Music kind of helps me channel that.
Okay, now I understand.
Yeah. So that at least it's easier for me to think of it that way. That music helps a lot, and also what can I say? Also having the right person there at the right time. Yeah. My husband's always there, so he's always one person. I know. So Lord gave me my husband really for so many things. And at first, relationships are not easy; they're challenging. But what I do love about relationships is that even though they're challenging, it's still something beautiful that you get from it. At least if they're the right person. Yes. Which I can say I'm blessed to have the right person for my partner. So. Yeah. And
you can had a moment or I don't know, experience that shaped you, and now like how you are now? You say, well, this moment, this described me, this makes me made me.
There's so many moments that I can say that has got me to where I am now. I think the most defining presently was definitely marriage. That was definitely a defining moment for me, because I lived my world in one way for so long that when I got married, I'm now combining two worlds, different worlds. My world and my husband, we're combining it into one. And so that totally defined me as I'm moving away from the daughter aspect towards a wife. And not just a wife, but also as me as a person as well.
Like a keeper.
Exactly. Like I'm so much more than a daughter, because I always had that daughter mindset with my family, because I have a very close ties with my family. I live 2 miles from them. So
2 miles,
I'm very, very close with them. But moving out of that family circle or that parental circle helped me to kind of think of myself really as an individual, and also now as a wife. Because I literally went from being at my parents' place to getting married. Like, I got married and then I moved out. So,
and how
all that was a big change for me.
How you feel?
In a way,
was
I feel
hard. Or
it was
at the beginning?
it was challenging. Not because, you know, marriage is challenging in that sense where like, okay, like he's my husband. Okay, we have so many differences. Besides that, it's more so a challenge to how can I say it? To search for myself as an individual.
Okay, just change your role.
Exactly, changing my role in my life, really.
Yeah.
being from back at home to like on my own.
Responsibility.
And with my husband.
Yeah.
Responsibility, thankfully, is something that we both are able to share. We share responsibility. It's never like, okay, you're responsible in this. No, we both share the responsibility of like providing. I mean, at first my husband was a provider and he still is, but now thankfully I have a job. But at first it was like, it was a big challenge in terms of like when we first got married. In terms of how I molded into this role or this new person, which you change. It's not, you're not the same when you're married.
Yeah, I know.
So
it's very different than dating.
Dating, and also you as a person, you change, like, and like you feel more independent in that sense where now you can call the shots. Now you're the queen of the house. So that was a change for me.
Queen.
I was the queen of the house.
I am the boss.
Boss, queen, okay, they go together, I guess.
Well, boss of the queen, boss of the house. Sorry.
Boss of the house. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so I went from it was a different mindset that I had to adapt to, and it was challenging because, like I said in the beginning of our marriage, like I graduated college and started my career. I started working my career. COVID happened, which kind of set me back big time because I was close to passing my examination it's like almost it's like a final exam of the career, basically to get yourself registered.
It's like general.
Yes, it basically establishes your career. This test is what
all
establishes
the things together.
Everything. And so I had a lot going on where I was working on my career without, of course, being registered. And then I was planning a wedding. And when one thing didn't happen, and when I didn't pass the exam, I was basically, it's like, oh crap, I can't really work in my career if I don't do this. And then I'm just like, okay, well, I'll pass it. I'll focus on my personal life and get married first. So when I got married, everything went well and everything. After marriage, it was harder for me to truly find myself in that place where I can pass my career, where I can start practicing my career. That was hard because I thought, man, I failed at this. How can I move forward with my career? And as time goes by and I don't get this together, I will forget. And I would just put it in my head that, I won't pass it. It's going to be harder and harder to pass it. And I put so much of my value also with that as well, with a career, thinking that I should be the career woman, right?
Okay, so...
And that was an issue because when I got married, I had in mind to be already working towards my career, already established. And that was the goal. Okay. And then marriage.
Okay.
But I married, and then I thought, okay, if I got married, then I will establish my goals as a career woman. And I realized that wasn't necessarily my calling.
Your
wasn't exactly what, it didn't go as planned.
Yeah.
And that got me down because you kind of want to, you're kind of programmed in a sense. Like I was programmed to, to get my career established and then get married. There's always this like, oh, you have to do this and this and this way.
Oh, it's your dad. Oh,
yeah,
I didn't see it.
Yeah. We got an interview. We're doing an interview.
We were talking
about how I evolved after marriage.
So now you are not struggling anymore with to getting used to the marriage, or you think this is always...
I think there's always going to be a set of challenges.
Yeah.
But I feel like the main challenge is what you put in your head.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest challenge. More than what your partner gives you, more than the challenges that you may present yourself with the person you're living with, but you go through your own challenges as well. At least I think I go through a lot of challenges, like maybe feeling enough to be smart enough, or maybe am I doing enough? Am I where am I going? Like I feel like I get stuck in two different places. I get stuck in the past, or I get stuck in the future. So those two things are the biggest stressors, and I would say the struggles that I go through, and that's kind of what takes me back from the motivation to move forward sometimes. Those two things.
Those two things.
Yeah.
And about being more specific, like your past and the future. What do you have some bad habits or
past, meaning that I failed in this.
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying? I failed not being the career woman that I was set out to be. Ooh. Got something. And I think the anxiousness of when am I going to get it done, or if I'm going to go this route, where do I go from now? So that's where I'm at. Like the two polar opposites, right? Where will I go from here? Where can I branch out? Should I continue what I was doing before? Should I just channel my energy into something else? Should I just get it over with, or face the fear of going to that career that I honestly wasn't always enjoying? But the thing is if I do that, from there, how would I move forward? Like I think too far ahead, and that makes me stop myself in a way from moving forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no,
it's just this really weird limbo that I go into.
And because sometimes we are struggling, and we are like, oh no, I am struggling, and I know that I can do it, or I am planning, but sometimes we get very depressed or demotivated.
Oh,
and what happens?
And not just that, like some people trigger that. People, when people ask that, there's like, hey, what are you doing with your life? Hey, I thought you were doing this.
So
hey, what's going on here? Like people just want. I'm just like,
I'm
just doing it. You kind of slide through, but at the end it sticks with your mind. Oh man, this person really triggered that feeling again.
And what happened if you are in a bad day and this trigger?
Oh.
And how can you take control of your mind again?
I give myself time to wallow.
Okay.
I do myself a rule. I say, okay, I'll wallow for an hour and I'm done. Like, or I'll cry this moment. I need to cry because that's how I channel. I have to feel the feelings, and then I have to let it go by. Okay, move or like, I just kind of do what I have to do and feel that moment, and then I would need to distract myself with like music, or try to think something positive. Like I am not what people think of me as. Like I am a lot stronger than what I think. I can move through this. I've done so much thus far. I can do more. I know that I can do more in that sense. I guess it's hard to really truly get myself out of that, but it takes time.
It's hard,
and I
yeah.
have to like anchor myself in that emotion so that way that passes through. Like almost like a storm, you know, I just kind of visualize myself in the storm. I'm anchoring myself in the storm. That way I can pass through. Because at the end of the day, it will pass. Whatever emotions that I go through, it will go away because they're emotions. They're not lasting. So as long as I think of myself in that position where it will pass, and just take one day at a time. I think that's also something that I anchored myself with too. Take one day at a time, and do the best you can. Work with what you can, and be happy with what you have. Because you're growing even if you don't know you are. So
Yeah, this is right.
yeah. So in a way, yeah, marriage was definitely that pivotal point in my life. Because that's when I discovered all these things, those emotions. I've discovered what it is to be, how can I explain it? What it is to be a giver. Because, you know, I just give for what I feel. I feel like I can give, then I'll give. Before I give anything that I can. But now I feel like I've established my boundaries.
Okay, your rules.
Before I used to go on someone else's boundaries and rules.
Taking care of yourself.
That's something that I discovered being married. There's so many things I've discovered being married that I didn't know of. And something my husband did tell me. He said, sweetie, don't live for other people. And that's something that...
You were like that?
I was like that. But I didn't realize. I always lived myself for other people. Whatever they want, I mean, at least if I can gain their approval. And that's something that I didn't realize.
But you felt like...
But I felt like I had to gain someone's approval all the time.
And how you felt that time?
At that time, I felt happy.
You felt happy.
I felt absolutely fulfilled.
I don't know. Yes, okay.
I felt fulfilled. If I can make someone's day better, or if someone else is happy with what I'm doing, I felt happy about that.
And sometimes you didn't felt like the people using you, or I don't know.
I didn't feel it at all.
No?
Absolutely. But and that's one thing. I didn't know how to say no. If I were to take myself in the past, and I would tell myself in the past, I will tell myself, learn how to say no. Know your limits. Because givers, and that's my nature, to be a giver. Givers will always want to give, but they need to know their limits, because typically takers don't have limits. They just take, and givers will give, but you have to learn the limits.
And when was the point that you saw it?
Like I said, like my husband truly helped me see that. It's like, sweetie, don't live for other people.
And how you got like the insight out? Even your husband told you, but I don't know.
I mean, my husband said, sweetie, you have an innate trait of giving, but you've got to know your limits. Even with me, you can tell me no. I'm okay with that. You don't have to do it to make me happy. If you're not feeling fulfilled by doing it, if you don't feel happy at the end of doing it, then don't do it. Because sometimes I would do things, and then I'd be like, why did I do that? Like, why? And he's like, well, there's something that's called no. You can just say no. So in a way, like, it takes someone from a different circle or from a different perspective to tell you that.
Yes.
And that's what my husband was for me. He was somebody who came from a different perspective. He came from a different worldview. And he came into my world and pointed things out. But of course, like, he wants me to grow in that sense too. Because he says, sweetheart, you're just going to dig yourself an early grave if you continue doing this. If you continue worrying about
your
people.
energy
you will never evolve if you truly don't know how to love yourself, and you don't know yourself. If you don't know yourself and don't appreciate yourself, don't value yourself, then don't base your values what other people think of about you, in a sense. So in a way, that's helped me a lot, that my husband did point that out. And he was pointing that out even when we were dating, you know, because then he saw how I was, my personality, how I am. And he just challenged that in a sense, which I think it's good to have somebody to challenge the reasons why you do things. I think it's good to challenge that.
No, this is very good because this is how you can grow too.
Yeah, because what's this? There's a saying in English. Was it a fish will always know it's a fish? Wait. No. I can't say it. I'm really bad at stating quotes.
Oh, okay. Me too.
I'm really bad at
I know. I need to read the quotes.
I've got to actually read the quotes. That's why I had to tell you the most simplest quote that has helped me.
Okay.
Because
this one is taken on you, so.
Another quote too that it truly did help me. This is like this is from a while ago, and I just remembered this for the interview. I remembered this one quote. It says, "You're braver than what you believe, stronger than you think, and stronger than what you seem, and smarter than you think."
Oh, okay.
And it's a quote that growing up, I just thought it was the cutest thing. It was from Winnie the Pooh, by the way.
Oh, Winnie the Pooh. Okay.
Winnie the Pooh said this. They know their stuff. So I definitely took that to heart because it was dedicated to me, that quote. A professor of mine in college, she dedicated that quote to me, and I recognized the quote because when growing up, you would hear that like in Disney movie, like that Winnie the Pooh. I heard that in Winnie the Pooh, and I remembered it. And when she dedicated that quote to me, I was very impacted by that because she knew something that I was struggling with, that even I didn't know I struggled with at the time. But it's simply that same thing that my husband says, like put more value in you, in that sense, or put more faith in yourself and know your worth in that sense. That's kind of what my husband has been telling me, and like other people also saw it too, that I'm stronger than what I seem, smarter than what I think, and braver than what I believe. And those are very strong statements, and they're so true. And when
she dedicated for
it was
for
a graduation.
Your graduation. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, in my graduation, I always think that hard work will always pay off. I always think that and it's always true. The hard work you put in, you're always gonna see the fruits of that. Yeah. And so I feel like if I give people the best that I can give, then the rest will speak for itself. But also learning how much to give. And I think that's like kind of what I've learned thus far, these few years being married, is learning how much to give, how much of myself to give, and learning how to also build myself and not just find myself in something.
Yeah, build, yeah. A nice word, build.
Build.
Not find.
Never find, because I always thought maybe I'll find myself seeing myself in doing this or working at that, or I find myself being something. But you don't just find it, you just have to build it. And that's the hardest work.
Yes.
Building takes much more work than
you
just...
need to know how to build it too.
Yeah.
How to start.
It's so much more work chasing butterflies. It's so much work to chase butterflies. You just work on your own garden and let the butterflies come to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That essentially is... That's an important thing, that you have to learn it. You can't just be told and know it from then on out. You have to live by experience, I guess.
And now you can name it, like one struggle or one fear or difficult.
I definitely can.
That you want to get rid of now or from now on.
Negativity.
Negativity
is something that I just want it gone. But we live in a world.
Yeah, I know.
We live in this world with
just in heaven.
Just in heaven. Yeah.
But about something specific,
it's a broad. Yeah, you're right.
things?
It's broad. How about something more specific? Negative.
I don't know, negativity.
Negativity is very broad, like you said.
No, not. It's not broad, but it's like you can be negative because I don't know, negative in your life or negative being yourself or negative about others, about social, about the world. I don't know.
You're right. Huh. I think negative. Like, I don't, it's hard to explain. Maybe regret would be something that I would eliminate. Having regret. Having regret. And it's something that perhaps intertwines with my negativity. Like, I regret not doing this, or I regret saying things, or I regret what I don't do. That's what I would love to eliminate.
It's like link it with yourself. So
Yeah, definitely.
The things you do, the things you think are like this. When you're feeling that you're losing control of your mind, what you do to take the control or
take back,
or what happened with you if you get like stressed, get depressed, or have you struggled with some kind of depression or anxiety problems, or self-esteem problems too?
Definitely. I wouldn't say it's an everyday thing, no.
Or have you ever?
Absolutely. I think that at that period when I wasn't working and I was home alone, and my husband was working a lot of hours, and we just got married. When I was home alone, I dwelled in everything negative. And that was something that I think that's where I truly met depression for the first time, because I've never before given myself that ability or that time to dwell on the depression. And so I think the time period was like a year that I truly, every day was just really hard for me to regain that consciousness of that I can. Like, I've always put in my head that I can, but in the moment that I wasn't able to, that I can't, that's what really ate me up. That truly ate me up. And really the only person that was doing something, that was trying to help, was really my husband. He would always tell me, why do you put that in your mind? Where is that source coming from? Is it coming from someone? Is someone putting that in your head? Because I can tell you this, I know you can move past this, but you've got to be the one to look for that. You've got to fight for that. Yeah. You have to fight whatever you have in your mind. And so I think the only way that I was able to get out of that was my husband truly encouraging me. You got to fight it at all costs, because you'll never move forward if you continue to think about what you didn't do, the regrets. So you can't move forward if you're anchored to that. And if you just look at the small things that you can do, look at the small things that you could do throughout your day. Like, I started to clean, I started to tidy up my life. And I looked at that as a successful day. I started with the most simplest things. Washing my face.
Yeah.
Brushing my teeth. Making my bed. Making dinner, lunch, any kind of doing something.
Even if you don't want it.
That's the thing. And that's how I slowly started to regain better days. And from my depression, definitely just putting those things as a successful day.
No, it's right.
And then thankfully, I had amazing people looking out for me, honestly. I was blessed. And honestly, it truly helped me to get to where I am now, where I am working, and now I'm being valued at my work. And that's a huge thing. That's helped as a huge accomplishment. Even if I did not become the career, or I did not excel in my career, I have excelled in so many other areas.
And you can start a plan too?
Oh,
or
absolutely.
we are never.
You know, and that's one thing. I've got plans. I've got plans, and now I feel like, okay, those plans are obtainable. They're not so impossible. Like, if I were to do this, like for saving for a house, just to put an idea, that's like my goal. I want a home. I want this as my life where I can establish a place for myself. I'm at this part right now. Now I have more ability to now make those baby steps towards that goal. Now, I definitely feel in a different, in a stronger position than I was before, like a year ago or 2 years ago, really. So, yeah, definitely changing my role was a huge shift, and change itself was huge for me. Like that led me to realize that I needed to grow in that area.
And how do you get this motivation?
How do I get this motivation? Well, because I'm better 2 minutes in the future than when I was back then. Like, I'm better now than I was then, and I'll keep doing it. Every day is a new day. Every day is a new chance to grow, a chance to learn, because I feel like true wisdom comes from never learning enough. Always knowing that you always have to learn more. That's true wisdom to me. I would much rather be that person than be the fool thinking that I know everything. You know, I would much rather live my life thinking that there's so much of me to learn, so much more in this world to learn. And I think that's what motivates me to push forward, really, is that what can I learn from this? How can I grow in this? How will this help me be better? You know? And I can say exercise is one thing that has helped me truly see that. Being active. Having a goal mindset, for me, that was a hard thing. I never had a goal mindset.
I know what you are saying.
I never had it. I've always been like a very free life kind of person. Like, you know, I was very vague because I've always had someone else tell me what the goal should be.
I know.
So that's the problem, and I definitely had to deviate from that mentality. I have to set my own goals. I have to set my own deadlines. And that was my issue.
Your fire.
Yes.
You bring your fire.
Yes. Deadlines and that's something that I continue to work with every day. Meeting deadlines with myself.
Okay.
And what helps me, I keep a planner, and lo and behold, I'm not consistent, but I do have a planner. And I try to set small goals. You know, simple. Health goals. I'm not going to give myself a big to-do list of my health goals because I won't. If I give too much of myself, then I know that it's not going to get done. So I now have to learn my limits, and I found a better way of learning my limits. And that's just very little at a time and very simple. Drinking 4 glasses of water in the morning and 4 at night. And then I try to do that. That's my one goal for the week. And then we would do something else the other week. And then slowly but surely, I will try and make that as my habit. And if it's not a habit yet, I'll keep doing it until it does. And that's how I've done it so far. And it's helped.
And you have one habit that you want to have now?
Absolutely. One habit would be exercising every day.
Exercise every day? Oh!
Every day.
Every day.
That's a big goal, but I'd love to have that as my goal.
It's very good.
Because exercise, I know the difference of how I get when I don't have exercise in my life.
In your mental health?
My mental health declines, and everybody can tell you, and they're so right, and anyone can tell you that exercise helps the mindset. It really does. And so I know exactly when I need exercise. And my husband, he was like, sweetie, did you run today? Or did you go for a walk? Like, do you need a walk? Do you need a walk? Do you need a walk? Do you need a nap? Like, what do you need?
This is the habit that you need to, you want to accomplish.
That's my goal.
Yeah,
my goal is to be active every day.
Every day.
Whether it's in the gym, whatever movement that's joyful for me, I want to do. And I want it to be every day.
This goal is just for you want to change your body or just
That's just a bonus, but no.
like all your
No.
being
No. I think just to feel
being balanced.
being balanced, having myself balanced. And of course, if having a better body would be part of that equation, then of course,
Okay.
I will not negate that.
You will not be very angry.
No, I won't be. But am I happy with my body now? I'm happy. And that's the thing. And I've learned to be happy.
This
I've
is, I think,
learned
for
it.
women, it's a hard thing.
Huge
to...
thing. I grew up with such a poor mentality of what healthy is or what beauty is. And thankfully, my marriage helped.
Oh, okay.
My husband
Good
tells me I'm
husband.
beautiful.
Okay.
He makes me feel beautiful. and I feel like I am beautiful. I really do. I mean, granted, I'm not going to... We're all going to age.
No,
it's just part
I
of
know.
life.
But you accept yourself.
I've accepted myself.
And not being like, oh, the other person, what he thinks about me.
No. A certain amount of people. Not everybody. I don't care
Not
what just
everybody,
everybody,
yeah.
but the important people that do say something about it. Yeah, it does hurt.
Yeah, I
like, if
know.
there are people that are important in my life and say it to my face, I will take that to heart. Because I know that they're saying it with other intention or with intentions for me to address it. Or that I'm being irresponsible. So yeah, I think I'm content with my physical appearance. I have no wish to be a stick figure. I do not have any wish to be
stick figure?
Stick figure meaning like, you know.
Oh, okay, stick like a
an
stick.
actual
Okay,
stick.
okay, I know.
I have no desire in being with an eating disorder.
No,
I have
no.
desire of having a disordered mindset of my physique.
No, this
I have
is
no
not
desire.
right.
Before I used to like how
It's better being with mental health in a day.
It's better being happy.
Yeah.
And that's a choice. And when I discovered that just changed it all. Happiness is something you choose. Nobody can give happiness to you. You choose it.
You choose it.
So I choose to be happy about me and my body and where I'm at. And it took a lot of work. And it's still work. That's the good thing, is that
Every
it's always
day.
going to be work.
Yeah.
It's never something that is going to just be finalized. It's just always going to keep going.
I remember that you said you wanted to be a women career, yeah?
You know, I thought I was a woman, a career woman.
Career woman.
I
Changed it.
No, it's fine.
Sorry.
I thought I can be a career woman.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what my parents pushed over. Society pushes you to think that
Here
career
more,
is
I
like the
think so.
pinnacle. Yeah.
I don't know if in Chile
But-
that you
Oh,
live in Chile? I don't
No,
know.
I have family
live?
from there.
But
But
you-
I feel like, yeah, it's very, the mentality there too. Like, you get a career, you're set. Like, you know what I'm saying?
okay,
Like, you're
okay,
set
okay.
for life. You're set. If you got a career, you've got a good, stable financing. But I feel like they put too much value in that.
Okay.
And not in other areas where it's even more valuable, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's more valuable to truly know yourself, know what you like doing, know what truly you want to do in your life. And if it happens to make money, great. But if it doesn't, then find some way that you truly like to do. And I think that's where I'm at right now, where I'm trying to find that. I mean, being what I was when I studied, I knew that it would come easy for me because the science was something that I liked doing.
Oh, okay.
I liked that career, but I just didn't feel like I fulfilled anything, or I feel like I was always lacking. And I think that I didn't give myself the room to grow in that area because I kind of cut that off.
We were talking about your profession, but I didn't ask you your profession, so
Oh, yeah, you're
the
right.
people don't know.
The people don't know.
Yeah.
Nutrition and dietetics was my profession.
Oh, okay.
And it is a fulfilling profession. I
Fulfilling.
have nothing against that profession. However, working in that, when I was working in that, I've always felt like undermined, or in a way like the underdog,
Oh, okay.
where I was questioned a lot, or they would step on my toes, or I just felt like there was a lot of animosity towards what I knew at the time. Or that, and then perhaps it's just me not feeling like I was sufficient enough in that field.
Yeah, maybe.
And but I know that that is not always true. I had to get more experience in that, which didn't help that I, of course, didn't continue in that. But at the same time, though, like, it's possible it's not too late, of course.
This is
But-
still your dream, or do you have another dream
I
now?
wouldn't say it's my dream at this point. I wouldn't say it is my dream. Is it something that I like? Yes, it's what I like. And I think it's a beautiful career. I really do. And I encourage people to really look into it because it's like the underdogs of the health industry. It really is. They're, well, not health industry. I would say the clinical world.
Oh, clinical world.
The clinical world, it's very pharmaceutical.
Yeah,
I would say. I mean, that's what I saw.
You like more natural part, the
Yes.
naturalistic?
Yes,
How can I
more
say?
holistic
Holistic.
aspect.
No, I like this part.
Holistic, functional medicine. That's the area that I would essentially be interested in continuing if I continue that route. But I just find that right now, where I'm at now, I want to gain more experience of what I'm doing now. And little by little get to where I wanted to be before in terms of passing my career or even getting my dietetics career. That's kind of where I'm at right now, where I'm working on that, but I'm not giving myself a deadline to do it. Because if I put my mind, okay, I have to get it done. I know I have to get it done, but I just I get overwhelmed with that. I get stressed. And when people give me deadlines in terms of like when I should pass it, it's like, okay, no. Like that's when I retract and that's when I like...
You have a break.
I have a break, like almost like a trauma, you would think. Like I sometimes like get paralyzed and I can't move forward.
Okay, understand.
Yeah. And so it's just I don't know, I guess it's just me creating that trauma itself or perhaps imprisoning myself in that mentality where I can't pass or I don't know enough or I feel insecure.
So that triggers for sure that triggers my negativity
for sure. It really does.
That you will be how can I say it, working with.
It's a work in progress. And that's how I always say it to people. It's a work in progress. And I feel like nutrition, in a way, is always going to be a work in progress. In everyone's life, it's never perfect.
Professions.
In every profession. And nutrition, I can say it because I studied it. Like, nutrition, it's always a work in progress. And like you said, in everything in life, it's always a work in progress. So
you choose what you want to be worried.
Absolutely.
You
choose your battles.
You need to choose because we'll be all battles, but you need to choose
which
one do you want to go
for the day. Yeah, that's so true. That is so true. So I mean, that's the current battle that I'm trucking along in, and I know that I will conquer whatever fear I have in front of me.
But now, so currently, you have a dream to achieve, or you are just
I'm not sure. That's my thing, or perhaps again. I'm putting myself in a position where I want to find myself, and I have to put myself that no, I have to keep building.
Okay, building to
have get to that.
A dream that you wanted to.
Yes.
To put a deadline.
To put a deadline. Exactly. Yeah, you just said it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And at this time,
good.
Yeah. That's
building.
good.
I like this phrase that you told me, building yourself, because I always thought like finding yourself.
No, I don't. At least I don't think so. I think more lasting achievements is what you build.
Yeah, I like it
because it's
very nice insight.
I feel like you're constantly having to build yourself, and wherever you're at, and I think that will go a long way. Like. This work that I'm doing now, it has nothing to do with my career. I mean, in a way, it kind of overlaps because I work in a place where it's in a health place, which is great. I mean, I'm in the right place.
Yeah.
But not doing what I was studying to do. So, but I'm still building myself to learn more about insurances, how that incorporates with how to help people, how to become more tech savvy. Like I'm building my tech savviness, which is something that I didn't know before.
What is this?
Technology, being more knowledgeable in technology.
Oh, tech. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like having to be more tech savvy, being
Tech
more
savvy.
more fancy with my technology.
Okay, no, okay.
Yes. So
Yeah, now I think it's very important because technology is growing so fast.
Yeah. And so for sure, I'm moving forward with something. I'm building myself with something. It may not be what I did before, but as long as I'm doing something,
Another experience.
exactly.
Yeah.
As long as I'm doing something, I'm getting better and better at it. Then I'm sure that's going to work for something good. And that's something that I think is a positive mindset that I've taken on, which is good. So yeah.
And well, getting to the end because we are a little bit freezing here.
It is a little
it's chilly. I don't know what happened.
And it's June, so we really
I
don't know what's going on.
Today should it be with sun?
Yeah, that was a forecast, but
I don't know what happened. And now
they're wrong.
It's chilly, and we are like talking like.
I'm just kind of shivering.
Yeah, and it's hard to think when we are feeling cold. So
that's okay. We work through it. We work through it. The struggle.
Ending this interview, what do you want to be remembered for? What do you want your family if you die today? What do you want your family think about you? What impact do you want to have in your family?
Oh, I would definitely like to be remembered as the giver.
The giver.
Yeah, definitely the giver.
I like that you don't want to change this because some
I can
people
be a giver.
they don't like to be like givers or or not giver. Just they don't accept themselves. So I like that you.
I just think that
if
you were known as a giver, that means you gave back you gave back something of yourself, and the only reason why I said that givers have to learn limits is because it's okay to give, but I guess in a way, kindness will always surpass any negative things you can do. I think giving kindness, giving compassion, giving your time, your efforts, that will always speak louder than anything else, I think. So I would definitely want my family to remember it as a giver. So,
a giver.
Yeah.
Sure, they think like this now.
Well, I would hope so.
You can ask them today.
I can. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I think it's what you give at the end.
And another question: what is your the best decision that you made in your life?
Oh gosh,
the best one.
Oh man. Saying yes to this interview.
Oh, thank you. I thank you.
I guess the best decision I made in my life was to decide to be happy. I think that's a decision that, in a way, is the best decision you can ever make, is to be happy. You decide that. I'll decide I'll be happy. I think it's very vague, but it's true. I decide happiness, and my husband, he's honestly my happiness too. I guess that's my best decision, really.
And what was your the best advice that you received from someone?
Learn to say no.
Husband.
Yeah. It definitely was the best advice.
And finalizing, how can I say, ending?
Cut. The
Cutting.
final cut.
The final cut. Can you describe what you feel or what you... Yeah, one word from this interview. Okay, what you can learn about it? How did you learn it about yourself? Or...
It's a phrase. It's a breath of fresh air. A phrase, a breath of fresh air. It's almost like it's alleviating.
Alleviating.
It was a breath of fresh air, an interview that targets these questions that you keep to yourself for most parts, but I guess now everybody knows. So it is a breath of fresh air.
But this will, your experience that you told us here will be very good for other people to get motivated, because a lot of people, they need some people to share their experience, moments, lives.
I guess talking about your fears rather than always living it, it helps a lot. Vocalizing your needs it's very important, and sometimes people will always say keep your business to yourself, but you have to pick and choose the right people that truly will help you. And that takes a long time to truly find that person. But once you do find that person and you give them that trust, it's good to talk about it, because keeping it to yourself and your own thoughts, it's never a good thing, I think.
Well, thank you for sharing your thoughts, your experience, moments.
Anytime.
Because this will be very, very helpful for others.
Yes, and it's going to be a lot of work for you to translate.
I know.
But I hope this helps whoever's out there.
And I will thank you guys, because my English is very bad.
Breathing, everything will work out.
Okay. My English will be perfect. But I try it. So.
Exactly, that's the best thing. I think that we limit ourselves too much.
Yeah, but it's hard to do an interview with another language. And now it's not the end. Do you want to do a, how can I say it?
No.
It's the end of the interview.
Oh God.
Now we will warm ourselves because it's so...
It is cold.
Oh, cold.
But I think this is going to be another challenge. Girl.
Yeah, we'll be. A day of challenges.
Different challenges. Oh man.
But this will be one symbolic thing. We will run with a weighted vest. So the weighted vest will be like our fear or the bad habit that we want to rid of.
Oh, okay.
So we will run 5K, and this 5K represents our life, our journey with this bad habit or this struggle.
Oh,
and then when we arrived, we will see what happened.
We'll see if I'm joking. No, I
know you can do it.
I got this.
Yeah, you got it.
I can do the 3 miles running, jogging, not crawling. That's what I won't get to that. Crawling my way to the finish line.
Okay.
As long as I don't do that, we're good. I'm not gonna walk. That's my goal. Not walking.
No, we will do your pace wherever you need, but we will finish this. So, muito obrigada por ter assistido, e agora a gente vai lá correr.
Muito obrigada.
Muito obrigada. E é isso. Tchau.
Bye.
Oh. Thank you, Katherine.
Oh, girl.
Thank you.
Oh, gosh.
How can I say? You have like very nice thoughts.
I do.